Hi, welcome to Island Up in Sport. We have a schedule for 8 o'clock, but we have some technical difficulties. But nevertheless, we are here and we give God thanks. So we are here with a gentleman by the name of Mr. Godfrey Drummond. And you're from Hanover, right?
Westmoreland.
Okay. Westmoreland. I just want to make sure. Welcome to Island Up in Sport. It has been a while. We should have this talk, but boy, Westmoreland kind of far, sir. Westmoreland.
It depends on where you are, because I can say Manchester and Clarendon and St. Anne is far as well.
Yeah, but it's far anywhere we take it. It's far from me. So, but yeah, we're gonna learn something about the parish, and I'm gonna tell you something that you didn't know about me, Westmoreland.
Yeah.
You know around Russia?
Yeah, man. You know Russia, man, very well.
All right. We gotta talk. So what we usually do is to try to find out who we are talking to, the listeners, who we are talking to. Early years growing up, your sport you play, tell me about your life growing up, even primary school. We don't mind. So the floor is yours, early years in Westmoreland.
All right. The name is Godfrey Drummond. It depends on where you know me from. Persons refer to me as Lenkirai. If you know me
Yeah.
from college, then you will know me as Stickman or
Thick
President.
man. Yes, sir.
Yes. But predominantly I grew up in Westmoreland, have been in and around the parish, in and out of the parish to different areas, but I've always been back at home because home is really where the heart is.
Mm-hmm.
From a very, very large family. My mother has 7 of us, 6 boys and a girl. But by extension, my father would have had about 17 or 18 of us. The moniker is that wherever you see a Drummond, there's some kind of relationship. So it's not many of us. 4 brothers came from Scotland and they dispersed to different areas of the Caribbean. One went to Costa Rica, one went to Panama, and 2 settled in Jamaica. One in Westmoreland, one in St. James. And so the what do you call it? The bloodline is sort of one way. Um, I, as I say, I grew up with both my mother and father and my siblings from a place named Petersfield, but more so from a district named Pullet Lane, because in those days, a lot of young ladies were in the community, so they called it Pullet Lane. And one of those lanes in the Shrewsbury area. Um, it was tough growing up, but one thing I can tell you that I persevered because I knew what I wanted, and from a very very early age I knew that my way out was either going to be academic or sports, and so it's no chance, not by chance, when you see me dabbling in both academic and sport. As a matter of fact, I tell people that I know 2 things well: academic and sports, and that's where my life has been hinged. I attended Unity Primary, well, Fort William Basic School, where I was the head boy, and I recited at my basic school graduation. H.D. Cardberry Nature. That was one of my favorite poems. I don't know if people still do poetry in school now, but that was one of my favorite poems. Nature by H.D. Cardberry. Right. Sorry, beg your pardon. But I attended Unity Primary, where I did exceptionally well. I got a scholarship from Unity, and I attended Manning School. Funny to say that I represented Unity. I won 2 Premier League with Unity at grades 4 and 5. Never played at grade 6 because upon leaving school, graduation, I contracted the typhoid fever back in 1989, and so I spent almost a term outside of high school. But this was very, very interesting. It's an interesting part of my life because I actually attended Manning's, but when I went to Manning's, my first day at Manning's was 2 days before the midterm exam in December. And I had the option of doing the exam because some of the teachers were saying, they gave me time, they gave me the additional notes, the additional scaffolding I needed. of course, my mother and my father made sure that I had all the books that I wanted to read and all the literature that I needed for my exam. And I did the exam, and funny enough, my average was 87. I was about fourth in my class. And persons from then felt that I was gifted. But I don't think I'm gifted. I just think I pay attention to detail. And that is what got me where I'm at now. I'm a bold person. I'm very outspoken. I'm casual and easy to get along with. And it makes life so much easier. Life at Mannings was never easy neither because, I mean, there were four of us from one household going there. And then upon reaching fourth farm, I had to make a choice because I started playing the Costa Cup very, very early. And I started representing Reno at 17 years old. I don't know. I know you know football and you have been around Senton and Jackson.
I know. So we got the next question is about Reno because I want to know. You have got to tell me about Reno, the Reno journey. But Manning's not rich people go Manning's, man. Or you say that struggle down, man.
Yeah, man, I struggled, man. I can't tell you, you know, Lenny. In my year group, I can boast. There are 7 doctors, 3 lawyers, 9 of us became teachers, and 3 became nurse. And that's from my.
Yes, man. That's Manning. That's Manning.
Yeah. So, but it was at the time when you're trying to break into the status quo because it still is looked at as one of those elitist high school in Jamaica.
Of course.
And so the perception of it being in an elite school, it made people felt that. Because I mean, even when I passed my common entrance sometime, you know, when my mother went to a place named Big M Supermarket, Big M Hardware in Petersfield.
Yeah.
I'm by the Gleaner because at that time you think common
entrance. I Gleaner, you spread
the were the highest selling days for Gleaner.
Yes, man.
So the gentleman, Mr. Mikey Myrie, an Indian gentleman, he put up the Gleaner for my mother, you know.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to highlight my name. I think I lost the Gleaner sometime in transition from my mother's house, but I had that Gleaner for more than 20 years to say that, yeah, man. Because people never believed in time that you could have really passed for Mannings, you know. They put you down.
Yeah, based on it. Yeah.
Yeah, man. My years at Mannings was good. I never played under 16. I never played under 14. I played under 16 and the Costa Cup before I played under 14. Because as I said, I had the typhoid, and when I came, the under 16, the under 14 had actually dropped out of the competition.
What position you play at the Costa Cup?
I played every position, you know. As a matter of fact, up until 3 years ago, well, 2 years ago, when Jamalik Porter scored 19 goals, I was the record scorer for Mannings with 18 goals in one season, you know. Yeah, man, Jamalik Porter came and I mean, I gave him his blessing. I took him to Mannings, as a matter of fact. When I coached at Mannings, I took him from Belmont Academy because he's a very, very good player. And I'm happy that he was the one that broke my record. But when you call football at Mannings, my name comes up in the first sentence, if not in the first paragraph.
You didn't win anything at Mannings. What did you win?
Never won anything because it was pretty much an Atlas job. I mean, I had to take the team on my shoulder most of the time. But I led proudly.
But let me ask you, in your days at Mannings, did Mannings really pay attention to football? Because since of lately, Mannings started to pay attention to football.
No, and I beg your pardon. No, Mannings never really pay attention. I mean, not even my mother wanted me to play football. Football was seen as recreation. And, you know, you had to, you can't miss a class. If you miss a class, then you might find a teacher came onto the field. And you know the sports master will have to take you off the field because you miss a class. I remember missing a chemistry lab. Mr. Dawkins, my chemistry teacher at Fort Farm, came to tell my coach, Mr. Scott, who taught me maths, to say, Scotty, him can't miss my lab because if he miss my lab, not even for the Costa Cup. And I can tell you, I missed the lab because I had a Costa Cup match the Wednesday evening. But I think Mannings was a very good team. You know, Mannings had a very good team. It's just that at that time, football was in the West, and we didn't have so much. It wasn't that we had a plethora of high schools. It was Cornwall College, Herbert Morrison, Rossies, Mannings, and William Knibb.
Yeah. The other school who turned secondary, from secondary to I didn't wasn't in there yet. The Godfrey Stewart and so on wasn't there.
No, the Godfrey Stewart didn't come in. It was the first non-traditional high school that came in my time. Was in my second to last year was Frome, when Frome was upgraded to a technical high school and they played.
Yeah.
And of course, I mean, we battered them.
Yeah.
But as I say, it was very, very challenging at that time. It was testing. Petersfield came in at a latter stage too, in my final year, and it was very, very good competition too, because as a matter of fact, they played in Zone E with Stets for maybe 3 years, and then eventually they made the transition over to Zone D, because of the upgrading of the various high schools.
We're gonna circle back schoolboy football, you know, because I'm gonna we're gonna talk about that later. Reno, I have a lot of respect for Reno. You know. Tell me, I want you to tell me as a fan first, because you must have grown up on Reno as a boy, growing up Westmoreland, Reno, right? Tell me as a fan, as a player, and you also coach the team. Tell me about the journey with Reno.
Well, the journey with Reno is very, very interesting. When I as a boy, it was every child's dream, every male dream of playing football and making Reno team.
Reno.
We grew up. I saw a part of a game with Andrews in 1986. I saw a lot of Wendell Downswell between 86 and 89. I saw boys in Nicholson, but I would have grown up seeing the Donald Hewitts, the Michael Graham, the Mark Wilson, the Linval Paula Wilson, Aaron Lawrence, Spider Wedderburn. Those are the men that, you know, everybody emulated and wanted to be. And I was no different. I think in my time, football was the means to an end, because most of us in my time saw football as the means of getting out of the ghetto, getting out of the garrison, getting a visa, getting a scholarship to go overseas or to go to university. And I mean, Reno brought that in to me. And I mean, I owe it to the administrators of Reno then. Mr. Frank Bim Williams was very, very pivotal, you know, because even though he speak anecdotally most of the times, what he said always resonate with me, you know, because I mean, I remember one afternoon he sat down, myself, Patrick Graham, there was a youth named Jermaine Pringle from Frome, and Andy Rowe, and he said to me, I mean, you are the new faces of Reno. What is it that you want? Is it that you want to win and just walk up and down in a savannah bun ganja like the rest of them? I don't want to make something in their life. And then I realized that, you know, when he said that to me, I realized not many of us will play nationally, but we can use football as a stepping stone to get where we wanted to go. And so, I mean, each of us ventured. I mean, Jermaine went to England, so too did Andy. Patrick went to the GC faster, so too did I. And I mean, you know, we became teachers, we became educators, we became coaches, and now we are actually molding lives of others. Patrick is now back at Reno as the head coach. So, I mean, it argues well. But at that time, it was very, very competitive, because when I left the Costa Cup with 18 goals and I went to Reno, you know, we had training from Tuesday to Thursday and Saturday mornings. So Tuesday was basically physical training. So, you know, we were there for Tuesday Eve. When it reached Thursday, which is ball evening, which is the squad match, we have to leave mornings early to get there. I remember reaching there like 3:30 because training starts at 4. Because when the senior players gets there, I mean, my tenure ends. I know that Cecil Pringle will leave work at Credit Union and reach there at 4:30 or 4:45.
The big ball of them come.
Or Roger Lynn will leave NCB and get there. Donald Hewitt will leave J Plastic and reach there. So when them reach there, my time, me get me 45 or 30 minutes, sweat, I'm ready again. You know?
Yeah.
But what I think that boys in Nicholson always ensure that he carry 2 or 3 of the younger players. Even if we're not making the team, he was always adamant that 1 or 2 of us make the squad. And I remember Andrew O'Connor always quarrel every Thursday even when the squad is named and his name is not mentioned, or, you know, we have a long discussion going back to the bus park to say, boy, how we gonna make the squad and we have to do this and we have to do that. You know, but we stayed the course and we waited our tenure because we knew that at that time we wanted something. And guess what happened? Because Reno was winning, it makes life so easier, you know, to associate yourself to say, yeah, man. I mean, every Sunday we go on a match. We get free pass, and I mean, we were associating ourselves with national players. And so when the opportunity came, and the opportunity came very, very easy, you know. I mean, I've always told my players to be prepared. Be prepared.
Mm-hmm.
We were playing Hazard. We were playing Hazard at Alcoa. I mean, I was always in the training squad, and there was an incident with one of our players, Donovan Brown. He got stopped by the police, and so he was unable to play. He was arrested and some ticketing and some other thing. I don't know. But the coach said that I am in the squad, and I made the squad that day. That was the day I made the squad. Because the funny thing about it, when he asked, I think it was Andy Rowe, one of them, they never took their gear. But I always have my shoes in my bag and my shin guard. And he said, you're prepared. And I learned that because even when I'm at the bench at Reno, sitting on the bench, my shoes are always laced up, my socks are always up, my shin guard up because, I remember one afternoon, Mr. Downswell looked back to make a change. Somebody went down injured and he had to make a quick change. And the two persons that he called on never had their boots on. And so sometimes even when 3 changes were made, I still kept on my shoes and socks because, I don't know what I was waiting on, but, I'm already prepared because I know of the opportunity that came and how I took it.
But and then you went to coach the team also?
Yeah, man. I coached the team on 3 occasions. Qualified them for the Premier League back in 2013 when they fell out.
3 occasions?
Yeah, man. Worked with Patrick Graham. Patrick Graham and I were there in 2006, 2007. I actually was in charge of the under 20. Patrick and myself were in charge of the under 20. Very, very good set of under 20 players. That when we look back, what we wanted wasn't what the others wanted, and that is maybe the reason why Reno struggled because we had different visions, and we had a different ideology because football was changing at the time, and we weren't ready for the change. And funny enough, we used to have people come from Kingston. When Raymond Dijab Webb came down and Calvin Valentine, all of those guys came from outside of Westmoreland come to play for the team. Richard Ford, Edward Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Now what we are seeing is that we are seeing people moving from Reno going into Kingston. We used to have people coming from Kingston weekly trying to make Reno team. So we never took the change as it ought to, and maybe most of the Western teams never did that, and that is why we are where we are. But my sojourn into coaching was very, very anticlimactic, as I can say, because I was certified as a level 2 JFF advanced level 2 coach even before I went to Reno. Because I always wanted to give advice, and I coached my community team, I coached my primary, I coached my major league team at that time. And a gentleman by the name of Russell Hammond just came to me one afternoon and said, boy, Reno is struggling, we can't find a coach. Michael Graham was coaching them and he just left. And, it was looking daunting at that time because we were playing in the Western Conference Super League. And the first game I went to Reno, we were playing, it was a derby game against Savannah. Savannah had just qualified for the Premier League and was doing exceptionally well. And so when I went there, Savannah, we got 2-0. 11 players, 2 on the bench with myself in the Reno, we got 2-0. We were beaten by a Reno player, 2 header from Linval Pala Wilson Jr. And, I met with the guys that afternoon. I sit them and I said, listen to me, guys. Say we waste 1 year, and if the season finishes and we don't qualify for the Premier League, we'd have wasted another year. So do we want to waste another year? And 5 of the senior players besides the coach, we're not wasting them. And we were in 5th position at that time, and we end up winning the Western Conference Super League and qualifying for the Premier League that year. Funny enough, I had to leave for overseas, and I never got a chance. But at that time, we had won maybe 4 championships. We won the Westmoreland Knockout. We won the Western Conference Super League. We won the Premier League qualifying playoffs. And we were playing in the Flow Champions Cup that year. The good thing about it, we have collaborated, and I had spoken to Patrick Graham. He was in Germany doing his football masters. And he and I spoke in Germany regularly. And I told him when he came back, I wanted him to assist me. And he was insisting that, no, he wanted to assist me. But how we always fight, and eventually we give him as, all right, anybody I lead, the next one I go follow. Funny enough, I left for Canada when he came back. And it just petered out because we had a synergy going. We were unbeaten that year.
All right, so this brings me to the next question now, right? As you reach there. what is happening with football in Westmoreland? You're talking about the Savannah. Sandals White House came up. Um, no, Reno. Reno was the pride and joy of country, not only Westmoreland. Because I had a lot of memories with Reno also. What is happening in Westmoreland particularly? You are in tier 2 now. Reno is in tier 2. They are all in their own. Peterfield, maybe, I don't want to say struggling. I don't know if you are the coach of Peterfield. You say Peterfield you come from, right?
No, man, I'm not the coach. But I mean,
right. But what I'm saying,
you have it right. Both teams are struggling. If you ask me,
what is that mean? All the footballers dropped down, so what happened?
I think without mincing words, the lack of interest from the youngsters is one of the major reasons why the football is lacking in the western part of the island.
Oh, other interest.
Yeah, there's far better and more lucrative things. And even good players get caught into the hype life. I mean, as I said, back in the days, football was a means to an end. Now football is just a choice. It's just another hobby that if I want to play some ball, I can. And so that commitment, that attitude, and that approach that we need to move football to the next level is not being adhered to. And I can share a simple thing. The matches are played at 3 o'clock, and I've gone to both teams' training session. Neither of the teams starts to train before 4:30 to play 3 o'clock games.
Okay.
And I'm not knocking any management, I'm not knocking any coach. I'm just suggesting that if it is that we want to maximize our truest potential, we have to practice, as realistic as possible. So if we are going to be playing match at 3 o'clock or 3:30, we have to have training sessions. And I'm not saying every training session, but we have to have specific time for some training session that will mimic the actual playing time. But it's not for lack of talent, because the talent has been unsure. Westmoreland has done well at the schoolboy level still. So it tells you that, there's something that is missing. One of the things that we think also is causing a serious problem is that the lack of leadership. And when I say leadership, I use the term loosely. Lack of leadership in the parish, because Everton Tomlins is the president and a very good friend of mine. We spoke on numerous occasions. He has a very, very good idea of what he wants. But does he have people around him, surrounded himself with, that knows exactly where they want the football? And so the football has been removed from the communities. So the football are played in one general area at Land Island. So gone are the days when you could go to Negril or go to Russia or Grangeville, go play some ball, and you'll see the talent from those areas, and you'll see the interest from people from those areas coming out at matches. We're not seeing that now. The football has been taken out of the communities. And so not much interest, except for those who play it and those who are keen on seeing it. Not many person wants to be a part of the whole happenings around football.
So you're saying that the football, a man go down to Russia go play a match, now is one place they playing the game?
No, man, one place. Every game is played at Land Island. Centrally played. No. And it might be a good thing forever wanting to centralize the football, but as I say, it's bad for the community and for interest, because those persons would have come out of the community. It costs a lot to go to Land Island to pay to go in, and to get back. Some people live in Negril, some people live in Orange Hill, some people live different places. So the cost of commuting, when you could actually have Orange Hill playing their home game, that Orange Hill or Negril playing their home game. Negril have a brand new stadium, much more suited for football than even Land Island. Brand new stadium that was developed maybe 4 years ago. It has not been used since. Petersfield have a very good oval. Have not been used. Grangeville developed their field at Belide. Has not been used for any competitive nature except for stack-up football.
So you need the community to come back.
Man, we have to get the community. And then the ego of the leaders, because nobody wants to give, and come to a compromise. Everybody wants to say, yes, my idea is the best idea. And that has not worked, and I don't think it will work. But, I'm hoping and I'm happy that Reno and Petersfield are representing the parish at the second level of national football. And I'm hoping that one of them will go all the way. I volunteer myself to give whatever is necessary in terms of my knowledge and my expertise. But we have to develop the human capital.
Westmoreland football, man. Back in the 90s, brother. I see Westmoreland football was on top, brother. And
Westmoreland football used to be good. And you spoke about the team that came from Westmoreland. I can tell you, maybe outside of Kingston and St. Andrew and maybe St. Catherine, Westmoreland has produced has um qualified most teams, and you can go back to Westland in the days. You can go back to Legend. You can go back to Savannah. You can go back to Sanders. You can go back to a lot of teams.
Yeah,
A
I
lot of
remember
teams came up.
Sanders.
A lot of teams came up from the parish. But what we saw is the seesaw motion because they qualify and they don't understand how it is to maintain them position in the league. And then they came back down, and it's a seesaw where they're coming up, go down, cover. They are too good for the local league, but they are not good for the national league. And it sort of sends a wrong signal, you know, because people want to see sustained, especially investors who are going to invest in football, want to ensure that you can maintain your position at the national level for a period of time. So that's where we really have our challenge. That's where the cookie really.
Well, personally, I want to see a team from Westmoreland back in the Premier League. Honestly, I would mind. But you see, and then again, Reno came up. You bring up Reno, and then Reno go back down. What is it to sustain the teams? No money now run out west. Money supposed to run. Nobody now take up at the team from Bim Williams leave. What happened? Because teams came up, about teams go back down. You need to be in the Premier League. Stay there.
Yes, and I think our challenge or face is lack of funding. We have a lot of industries in Westmoreland, but what we have is what we call a net disinvestment. So most of the industries that are in Westmoreland, the companies, their head offices are based in Kingston. So they make the money in the western region. In Kingston is where their hub is. So they make money in Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, but the head office is in Kingston. So when they'll give to a Waterhouse or a Harbourview, they show scant regards to the teams in this side of the island. And unless we change that, I mean, but it is very difficult to garner sponsorship for teams inside. One of the things that we face, and I've had to discuss it wholeheartedly, is that when I was in Kingston, Patrick Graham and I were at college together. Patrick played for Arnett Garden for a brief moment. I played for Reno. Patrick would have had 7 games in Kingston and St. Catherine. You understand me? Over a period of time. Myself from Reno would have 7 games. 6 or 5 in Kingston and St. Andrew. Only 2 in Westmoreland. So it means that Reno would have been on the road traveling 5-6 times. Right? So Reno was in Kingston for a Monday night football, but they are back in Kingston on Thursday against Waterhouse. Right?
Yeah.
Without the proper transportation protocol. I mean, we don't have players coming in Kingston and camping overnight. When Bim was there, we used to go in overnight, or we used to stay at Mandeville at Tony James's place. And I mean, make the journey easier. Now the player have to travel 4 or 5 hours crouch in a coaster into Kingston and back, maybe 2 times a week. Right? Meanwhile, the Kingston team just travel maybe 30 minutes, 20 minutes maximum.
Arnett versus Waterhouse.
It's a walking distance. Tivoli versus Arnett, they can walk. You understand me? So these are the little dynamics that we don't look at. And sponsors don't look at it. So they'll say Arnett doing well and Waterhouse doing well. But what are they doing? I mean, to ensure that Reno does well in terms of putting the necessary infrastructure and systems in place. So it is what it is, and we have to live with it. But, you know, as I said, not a true National League because 9 teams out of 14 are from Kingston and St. Andrew. So that doesn't reflect a lot. But
I want to see teams in parishes. That to be honest. I want to see Reno. I wish Cheja
when I played Lenny, my joy was to travel to St. Thomas, to Port Morant United, or to travel to Carter Park to play Taros.
Yeah, man.
Or to travel to George's in St. Mary, because that represents a true meaning of the National Premier League.
I believe
when I go to Black Star, or I go to Brazil in St. Anne, or I go to Village in Ocherios. So in Trelawney. So these are the things that, man. And until we get back there, where Kingston and St. Andrew dominate football, and it's not just Reno, it's going to stifle rural teams. Montego Bay is doing a good job in terms of holding their own, but it takes a lot of sacrifice from Popo and company to get persons on board to share the idea for them to understand what it means and what it takes to really maintain a league in the league. It's not like when we played Premier League. When we played Premier League, we had Frank Bim Williams, who had an industry, JW Plastic. Bim employed 3/4 of a team.
Yeah.
Understand me? So they come and work and them leave, and those are not employed by Bim or otherwise gainfully employed. At that time, it wasn't a requirement to pay players. I mean, but BIM took it upon himself and paid players a stipend. And so we were more comfortable knowing that our situation was unique. I mean, Reno was a team that actually let town team know that players ought to be paid, Yeah, man, after the 91, 92, after the double, and we started paying players. We bought players' car. Players were driving to match and feeling comfortable.
Yeah.
And so,
Right. As I said, I want the West I want Westmoreland to come back up. I want and the name Reno is Reno. So that is me. I'm gonna go to an area of your life now. GC Foster College. I'm gonna ask you a question, And the question that I'm gonna ask you, you can duck the question. You can say, boy, we are live, but you can say no comment. GC Foster the university, the programs. What is your take on it?
It's the greatest place on earth. And I think anybody who wants to go into teaching, they should go to GC Foster, go to some place that simulates what is done at GC Foster. I've always advocated, and when I was the president, I met with Dr. Winston Dawes, the chairman, and we.
And sorry. Tell us the year. Very good. Tell us your life there, and tell us the year when you were president.
2003. I went to GC Foster 2003. I was there doing my diploma until 2006. I was the president, was the vice president in 2005, president in 2006.
Yeah, okay.
GC Foster really crafted me, and I tell people, some people don't understand when I speak passionately about GC Foster. There are two philosophers that came into my life. One who I think deserves a national award, Mr. Edwin Murray, because when he speaks, everything that my life revolves around is based on what Mr. Murray would have said.
Yeah.
Right. The next one is Dr. Gardner.
Yeah.
The man who show you that you must show tough love. Yeah. There are other persons who impacted me, like O'Neill Uncle and company, Mrs. Yvonne Kang. But those persons, Mr. Murray and Dr. Gardner, they were critical in shaping me. I never introduced myself to Dr. Gardner. He just saw me one morning coming in, jumping the fence, coming in and said, Mr. Reno, you're late for devotion. I mean, having not known the gentleman, but he took time out to study all of us.
All of you.
And Mr. Murray was like a father figure to me, man. There are times when me feel like, say, me I go home. And I bother with college, and Mr. Murray took me in the office. He have a small fridge there. We ever have 2 beer in there. So we could always sit and drink, and we could help him do what I do. Help him with him timetable and help him some stuff, and him say, all right, Godfrey, come on. And, that leaves a mark on me. But back to the question, I just said, GC Foster should be a university. I've actually said... When I was
upgrading the programs, getting the program, get the college to the next level. That is that.
Yeah, man. But I mean, persons like you and I, when I came, as the president, you would have left a trail mark, a hallmark for us to follow, a roadmap. And when I look at persons, especially in our era, and what they have done and what they are continuing to do, I mean, it sets us apart. I mean, I was telling a colleague of mine the other day that in third year, when we were doing college English 3, I went to a place called CPTC, Creative Production and Training Center, at Arnold Road, because I was awarded as one of the top students in English. And when I went into the room, there were 3 young ladies, one from Chartwood, one from Michael, and one from Huey. And I jokingly asked who was the 4th person who was collecting the award. And they said they're expecting to see another lady. And it wasn't until the presentation, Mrs. Watson White was there. It wasn't until the presentation was being made that they realized that I was the one who was collecting the award. Because everybody, they were looking for someone who was wearing glasses, who looked nerdish. And when I told her that I was from GC Foster, everybody almost fainted.
GC Foster collecting an award for youth of English.
Man. Equal with you, equal with Michael, equal with Charlton.
When I hear this story, I don't fit all this. I don't even want to get into it because
no, man. I read the name Mahine Blake was I think he was the chairman of the something that time. He was chairing the program, man. But I said this to say that some of the people them who came through the heart of GC Foster. You see, when I came to GC Foster, I came to a rude awakening because I was actually doing courses with Sam Sharp before coming to college. My anticipation, I got through in 2001. Ricky Blair, basically have a room for me.
Yeah.
I actually never got my study leave from school. And because I never got the study leave, I had to defer. And I defer in 2001. 2002, I really, really wanted to go. The leave came through, but it was at that time that, you had to make a decision because my son was just born and my son's mother was at Bethlehem Teachers College. So I had to make a choice, a tough choice to say, make she go on and then we can go and soldier it out until everything start to seep through.
Yeah.
And so when I came 2003, I came with a different expectation. I came to college with my sneakers, my football boots, 2 books in my bag, my dictionary, and my clothes.
Yeah, man.
And it wasn't until I went to D1 Sec that I realized that, boy, this is really school.
Yeah, man.
Glenn Hutchinson sat me down and tell me that, listen to me, man. Don't make nobody tell you, man. Come and look for yourself, man. This is more than just a college. It's a university. And I saw it. Because when I went to Canada and I had my courses evaluated, because I wanted to do a program there. And I told them that I had done a diploma at that time. They told me that this is not diploma. The course content was too much for what is being offered as diploma.
Yeah.
So I know from then that, it's a special place. What I was really, really torn up about was some of the courses that were taken out of the curriculum. And I think that, we never fought as hard as possible to maintain those. Things like testing and measurement. We do some course, motor learning. We do some course at first year that they are not being done now. That allows me to speak verbosely when I'm speaking to anybody, because I can tell them about anything as it relates to science, as it relates to education, as it relates to languages, because I have awards to back those up. Yeah, man. And it's not just about being braggadocious and bossy and want to show off. It's about the wealth of knowledge that I have gained, and sometimes I just want somebody to spit it out, man.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's true. It's a different place. As I said, I would say I will leave and listen to the G Faster story. I always want to hear them. Schoolboy football. We are going on a schoolboy football. Strangely, you don't listen to some of the podcasts then, because me laugh after some of the school and me laugh after Peterfield one time,
Yeah, man, you have to laugh, man. Listen, man.
Are you Coach Peterfield?
This year? Yeah, man.
Bola, and I see some of the time I can't remember a coach. So I want to say about Peterfield. Me say so about Peter, so because some of my coach they don't want to talk to me, because then thin skin, they say, boy, you talk about my school, man. So me don't know. Tell me about the schoolboy football. One for Peterfield. Peterfield not got you. What happened?
I think, all right, let me put it that. Last year at Petersfield, when I went to Petersfield last year, we were unbeaten. We lost 1 game to William Neb in the round, in the second round. And we never it was a tight game. We lost 1-0. This year we retained maybe about 60% of the players them, and then eventually it petered out because there were no sustained programs. We just have some players, we play them good. We never put the necessary infrastructure and system in place to ensure that they would have made it through. And so even with a more experienced squad, we never passed the first one. We came third. As a matter of fact, we were tied on points with Black River, but Black River having gone ahead away. Because we just never, I just think we just never managed the situation well. Managing players is one of the biggest problems we face in schoolboy football. I started the program. As I said, I started the program telling you that we had retained 60% of the players. When the Dakar Cup started, 4 of my players couldn't play. One subsequently went to Mount Pleasant. One decided not to come back to school, and we got back one after the first round in the return matches. So, and these are for some like frivolous things that, you know, and I don't wish to delve too deeply into it, but until we can put systems in place that will keep young men, because let me tell you something, Lenny. When a boy at 16 years old decides that he's going back to school, if it's a girl, encourage him to go back because of the girl. If to play ball, encourage him to go back because there's so much things that 16 years old have been caught up doing, that destroys their life. So my main concern was to getting my players back into school and not necessarily just get them to play the Costa Cup. The funny thing about it is that I had to do it alone because the principal, Mr. Green, was on leave, and so it was the vice principal who was acting for the term, and the system was never explained to him. So a lot of things transpired, but
you did well in the under 16. How far you went?
We made it to all the way. We lost 3 games. Well, we lost 2 games.
You can beat your friend quarter Jackson.
Yeah, man, we did well. We played on the quarterfinal. We were 1 point away from the semi-final, and we lost at home because of the same thing, because we don't put systems in place. And I tell you, you can lose the game even with the best team if you don't prepare. So we came from Fern Court, we came from Malden with our tails up, and we wanted to camp the players for the weekend. And we were told that under 16 can't camp, or under 16 never camp. And so, the players went home, and some never rested well, some never eat well.
Yeah.
Over the weekend,
all kind of things cannot be like that, man. That's true, man. True.
Then those are different things. And eventually we lost to Central, whom I think was probably one of the weaker teams. We lost to Central badly, 4-0 at home. We never give up the whole season. Funny enough, whole season. Yes. Central, we never give up 5 goals. I would go 4 in 1 game.
Oh.
Yeah, man. So, but
you're going back this year? What you're going back there this year?
I am yet to decide, but it's a tough ask, because unless they can guarantee that there are certain things that are put in place, then nobody can guarantee that I'm going to be there. I like to waste time, but I don't like when people waste my time. This afternoon I was in Burger King and I saw about 40 players who were basically on knees. The coach, you have to come back because I have my last year, I have my second year, and coach, this year a year, because based on what the under 16 did and based on who we're retaining from the Costa Cup, this year is the year that we can actually push forward. And I'm saying to them, listen to me, it's more than just players.
Yeah, man.
Players have to eat, players have to be comfortable, players have to be given vitamins and supplement. You want to ensure that your players are comfortable on the field, off the field. The peace of mind to ensure that they not have to fret when CXC money for pay. One of the things that I did at Petersfield was to get everybody to do CXC. So all of my players, them have a subject. Everybody who played the Costa Cup have at least PE. Some have PE, EDPM, and we have a couple who has gotten. As a matter of fact, we have one that played in the all scholastic team. Leo.
So you have to do something. You have to do education.
Yeah, man. I not believe in that, because I always tell them don't players. I can't play with dunce play. I don't know how to relate to dunce people. So you have to bring a certain level of decorum, intelligence, and understanding before I can reach out to you. Because you can't challenge me.
Yeah.
And I like when my players them challenge. When I think them quarrel, even the teachers at school say, boy, the rapport that I have with the players, them, me too easy with them. I'm gonna make them get away with a lot of things. No, I have a son who is in the university. I have a son who is in the University of South Carolina who plays football and who is trying to move into the professional ranks. Doing exceptionally well. And I'm not use big stick over him, because I show him love, I not show him fear. I don't want him fear me.
Yeah.
And so my players must be comfortable.
True.
So if it is that they can't come to me and relate to me, when I think, Lenny, I know all of my players, them girlfriend. A man date, man. And I learned that from an overseas coach that, listen to me, he have to know all them players, them wife. That's why you see, it was difficult for some Jamaican players to make it professionally, not because of their skill level, but because they don't show commitment.
Yeah.
You know, you relate to a wife, the wife relate to the husband, and it's easier. When you don't have a wife and them have 5 and 6 different women, you can't even relate to them. That's why you find some of them find themselves, doing some illicit things.
Yeah.
So it is. I'm trying to find out about pay them girlfriend. I'm relate to the girlfriend them to help them with their schoolwork. Me beating at them say, yo, find intelligent girls to talk to. Because when I think that, I always tell them, girls like foolish boys, bad boys, stupid boys. And the stupid boys will use that to their advantage. So yeah, the SBA, if you don't have some girls that can do the SBA, make the girl them help with the SBA, man, so that you can ensure at least you have 40 marks going into the exam.
Yeah.
So, my coaching is sort of different. It's not traditional. I just read. I take from different things. I take from Pep Guardiola. I love Jurgen Klopp. I listen to Mancini. Arrigo Sacchi is my favorite coach of all times. So me listen. I'm going to try to get. Yeah, man. We try to pick up bits and pieces of what it is that makes my philosophy different. And so even when I was at Manning, admin and I didn't get on because my players come first. You don't come on the field and disrespect my players. No. Better you disrespect me and then me go talk to the players them. And so I get a lot of disrespect because of that. Because I actually shield my players from the public and from the fans and from everybody. I did that at Reno. At one time at Reno, I told Mr. Donzel, you can't sit on the bench. And then figured that I was disrespectful. And it's not that I disrespected him. I just didn't want them because, you come on the bench and you get emotional and then you say something and a player hear it back. And then it got echoed to one next player and then start going and then say, boy, Mr. Donzel, this them or whatever. So to guide him from that and to guard himself and myself, they say, all right, but you stay there, so manage the game, do whatever it is, do, and you share the information with me so that I can share with them.
Okay. We're gonna go in a year. Why you're that brave young man, Why you want to be the JTA president?
There's a thin line between being brave and being stupid, though.
Why you want to be the JTA president, the Jamaica Teachers Association president? Tell me about the journey there, 2020 to 2021.
I was nominated by 5 DAs, 5 districts and a parish. There are 78 districts, 14 parish association. I was nominated by 5 of the districts and 1 of the parish to be the president of the JTA. I just figured that if somebody sees within me that I have leadership qualities, I ought to exercise it. It was at the time when we were trying to see, we were going to a salary negotiation. Because I'm an advocate for teachers, Teacher will tell you when I go to meeting, I don't sit down, Them tired of me. They don't like to hear Godfrey Drummond. And that is why maybe the hierarchy of the JTA and I don't see eye to eye on a number of things. Because I believe 16,534 teachers. 16,534 teachers are either classroom teachers or subject teacher. Put in another 4,000 that are principals and maybe another 4,500 that are vice principal. You understand me? So an estimated 28,000 members of the teaching fraternity. 16,534 are teachers, which means that our representation should come from someone who are within the ranks. When you go in the police federation, not sure, them have rank and file different from the officers.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, and I believe that there should be a segregation of power. Because the principal don't represent the teacher at the table most of the time. The principal represent their own interest. And I believe that as an educator, as someone who is strong in education, the core of the education in Jamaica is done by the regular teachers, The principal only manage and delegate, The core of the work is burdened by the regular classroom and the regular subject teachers. And I so believe that if I'm in an organization, if I join the police force, I want to be the commissioner. If I join the army, if I join the medical field, I want to be at the top because that is how you can self-actualize and get things done. And so I challenge for the post of the president of the JTA on that principle. But I've always advocated for principle, for teachers. And sometimes it seems as if I am going against principle. Let me tell you something. I am not opposing any principle, you know. I am just supporting teachers. And let it be abundantly clear. That is what I believe in. I've had leadership within me. I've led at different levels. From basic school, me a head boy, man. So, I mean, leadership not near to me. When I was at GC Foster, I was a vice president of the Jamaica Union of Tertiary Students. When I went to Caracas, Venezuela, myself and a virgin named Dog Brief, Damian Morgan and Nicolette Brown, asked them, are we going to present the paper for education in the development world, you know? Me and a girl from Trinidad. When we go Venezuela, Caracas, are we going to present to say, this is what education is like in the developing world, and this is what we want to see it looks like. And if we can't do that, you see, we are in serious challenge. I asked the question the other day, you know, I went to Ochi at the Family Fund Day. Where is my counterpart, the gentleman that I ran against, who defeated me by 2,000 votes? Me not see him. Me not hear from him. Him just come serving time, make some money and go. You get me? I am still there lobbying and advocating, and I push say, oh, teacher deserve more, teacher want more of this. But I believe not until we have a classroom teacher leading the organization who listens to the plight of the teacher, who understands what teachers going through, then we're not going to reach anywhere, because the government uses what you call scarce benefits. So within a school, there are 17 teachers, one principal. So he raise the principal's salary 300%, but him give the teacher 4%. 17 teachers get 4%, you know, and one principal get 300%. And so what that is leading to us is that the teachers becomes suppressed by the principal. So the teacher can hardly talk, because the principal has been given 4 times what he's accustomed to suppress the teacher. So the teacher cannot talk. So if chalk is lacking in the staff room, the principal can mute the teacher or muzzle the teacher.
Yeah.
So I am strong on education. There are certain things. One, parental accountability have not been dealt with. All no. So when nothing go wrong at the teacher has 35 or 40 students. The parent might have 1 or 2. Why not hold the parent accountable for the actions of the child, but you hold the teacher? All because you're paying the teacher 4% more than he used to get. The ripple effect is that teachers now have found their niche elsewhere and are migrating, and it is causing a calamity. We're not going to see the effect of it, you know. I was speaking about it in 2020, but every year it gets worse and worse. There are schools that have not been fully staffed since 2020. There are schools that still lack 5 and 6 teachers. And the maths teacher have to teach science, and the English teacher have to teach HFLE. All because of what the government, and you see the external migration, Lenny, it is affecting internal migration. Because the good teachers who used to be at the school on a Chuku, because he can't get no work at Kingston and he can't get no work at Richmond, the opportunities are now created closer to him, so they are moving back to their home. And so it's eroding the entire educational landscape.
Can't easily get a job down there, so no.
Easily. So you're gone back to your place where you don't have to pay no rent. You're gone back to my yard because I don't have to pay no rent. I don't have to live on body property or live on a cottage. You understand me? So until we understand these things, you know, and the minister know, you know, I have respect for Dr. Kashan Troop. I know she knows and she means well. But it's just that they are boxed in a little thing, boxed in a little corner, because you see, one of the things is that you see nepotism, or they talk about nepotism. There's nothing as nepotism, you know. But me and you come from the same party. The Minister of Finance and the Minister of Education come from the same party, you know. They're not going to oppose each other, you know. All when they don't see eye to eye, they must say, man, work it out. You understand me? So Dr. Troop knows what is happening, and she understands. The reality of it is that there's little nothing that can be done. The minister knows. But, I mean, there's a school of thought that says happy cow gives the most milk. So if you make the teacher happy, then you see a entire change, a transition, transformation in education. If you make the regular class teacher them feel nice, if you make them feel so them can buy a good car, you know, if you make them feel so them can live somewhere nice and comfortable, then you'll see the ripple effect, you know, you'll see the thing multiplied in terms of the educational outcome. Because a teacher who have a think about him like being cut off, him not have no time to give extra class to a boy who not pay no money. He might think, well, how am I trying to make some more money so that him like no cut off so he can go home and not go home in the darkness. You know, so my teacher them tell me that the salary can hardly manage them clothes. Because if them buy pretty clothes, I mean monthly, then they have nothing to eat and them can't reach a school. So we have to serious about education. And you see, a lot of things that is happening in Jamaica's society is hinge on what is happening in education. If we cannot fix education, we cannot fix the faults that we are having. The social ills that we are seeing manifesting now. If we don't fix education, mean we're in a problem. We are in serious problem. Believe me, I tell you that, Lenny. And I mean it wholeheartedly. If we cannot fix education. So if we cannot allow people to think, if we cannot allow the boys them to work out their differences through educational intervention, because what we are seeing, you know, is that the home have become younger. So we used to have 18 years old who have baby. Now we have 14 years old and 13 years old who they themselves don't understand what it is to care for a child or to tender to children. And so we have young grandmothers at 34 years old who have grandchildren. They themselves not even ready for children yet. We have serious challenge that we need to address. And we need to address it promptly. The challenge that we face is that subsequent government is afraid to take the bull by the horn because it costs them election. So you'll hear the opposition say, yeah, that is not right, and when I go in, I'll do that. But you do that at the expense of 20 or 30,000 voters. And then you find yourself in an opposition. And then the government who make the promise when they were opposition, they're afraid to go back on it because what happened? Them find themselves in a box between a rock and a hard place. So when I speak about education, I speak very, very passionately, you know. I speak passionately because this is something I had for 22 years. So I know exactly what it is. I'm in a system where the parent take the bright boy or the bright girl and send her to the prep school. But the one who show little or no promise is sent to us in the public school. You talk about stigmatization. The boy who father that foreign go get to come to school every day, but the one who father work don't have I work XYZ and not send enough money come. Him not come to school, we not see him till every month.
True, man. Yeah. We almost on the hour mark. I hear your passion for education, so I don't leave it. I heard it. You radio, we're involved in radio. I believe I know you before then time at GC, because I came to a match down by From and I remember a radio station at the side of the field.
Yeah, man. I work at Links FM. I was a sportscaster at Links FM for a brief.
You did commentary because it was OTSI versus From. Beckham was playing.
Yeah, man, we did commentary, man. That was a very, very interesting game too, you know.
Yeah, man. I can't remember that. Yeah, it was Links FM.
Links 96 FM, man. Yeah, man. Myself and Ian Miles.
He did by the West.
Yeah, man. We still do commentary, you know. We still do what we call special projects. So last World Cup, I did some work with Mellow FM and Rhythm. And I did some work at one stage. I did some commentary with Sean Grant.
Yeah.
So we did work, man. We do work, but because we immerse ourselves in a sports, you mean when expert analysis is needed, we normally reach out. You know, we normally reach out and we normally help as best as possible. And people always reach out to it too. I mean, the last big project we did was we get some international review. Myself, Ian Miles, who is my my co-host. Montego Bay hosted the CFU championship, and it was broadcast on Melo TV. I mean, too, maybe about 100,000 people in Canada, the New York tri-state area, and I mean the reviews were so good that both myself and Ian were invited to Canada. The late Derek Tatty Wilson also. So we did work, man. We did work.
Yeah,
radio is just a hobby.
yeah,
And it's something that I love from I was listening. I used to listen to commentary with Patrick Anderson and Ed Barnes and a brother named Mike Oban. I don't know if you remember him, Mike Oban.
Yeah, man.
Some great I mean commentary when Ed Barnes uses the figures of speech. I mean them bring to life. We used to go and practice after it. When him tell you how Michael Graham bend up or how Michael Tullow bend up to hit the ball. We go there practice it. It's like we see it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, when he was Ed Barnes, when he was coming, it's like you're actually seeing what.
Yeah, man. He bring the game to you, man. You can see you could see the flag fluttering fervently in the breeze.
Yeah,
I know exactly. Say yes. I want go on.
Yeah, man. We are as I said, we are coming down. We are almost there. You go back for JTA president anytime soon?
It's a decision that I have to make with my family.
It's a recurrent thing, You remember, because somebody is going. I believe the person who last some years ago is going back this year again. So
maybe about 4 persons. 4 persons from the last 3 years going back. There's Mr. McNamee.
So
funny enough, I've been in JTA. This is the largest pool we have seen it. Came down to, I think 7 persons are going up this year.
You 7?
Yeah, man. 7 persons are going up this year.
Let me ask you, what in it? You get a van to drive, you get 1 year leave, you get pay behind it. Let me ask you.
The perks. Let me tell you something. Let us not kid ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
This is paid volunteerism.
Yeah.
So you have a mansion where you're going to live in for a year. Them give a vehicle fully maintained with gas and everything.
Good vehicle, I saw the vehicle, SUV.
Yeah, man, that thing, don't quote me, it could be about a 2017 or 2018 Prado or Pajero. One of those.
Pajero, yeah, man.
But it's a very good vehicle. Fully maintained, gas maintained. You get a driver if you want a driver. You live at the mansion. Expense free.
Yeah.
You travel any educational places are, you travel free worldwide. You get a stipend per diem to travel. So it is paid volunteerism. So don't let it be said. And I'm not killing anybody, Me not going to JTA if you go in there just for go work and not get nothing, because everybody who goes there now is looking something.
Yeah.
I was making the reference the other day that when I went to 97 Church Street, just Millennium, I see at least 9 former principal working in admin. Now, if you were the principal at your school and I'm talking about principal was at grades 4 and 5 schools, big schools.
Mm-hmm.
Now they give up them position and I work in an admin, regional officer, GenSec, deputy GenSec, Ray.
Yeah.
The perks must be good.
Yeah, man. Something behind
you're not accountable to nobody. That's the problem.
Oh.
You get me? Oh. No, listen. Who was the program at the day? Who was the JTA Family Fund day? And when I think I was using it, I was educating them, I was informing them, along with entertaining them. Because them not laugh, but me never laugh, because I'm serious. I was serious. There are teachers in school who don't know the contact teacher. There are contact teachers in school, Lenny.
Yeah.
From them reaching our contact teacher because they're my principal friend, so the principal appoint them as contact teacher. So when a issue arises between a regular teacher and a contact teacher, the contact teacher take the side of the principal. I say you're wrong, because I still tell you if you don't do that. Without defending the teacher, I give the teacher a chance.
Right.
And that's the first line. Saying we don't know which DA we're from. Right? We don't try to get ourselves involved in the JTA. No, The JTA have 21 committees that are chaired. Each chairman is given a stipend at the end of the year, brethren. And a free thing, JTA is making in excess of 30 million a month, brother. Based on your dues and my dues,
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So when you go to meeting on a Saturday, there are people who take the bus to the meetings and then them sign for them traveling. Traveling is calculated at about $45 per kilo. So don't think you're going to go a meeting, you're going to go free. So people in the inner circles, the inner sanctum, don't want anybody outside come. So that's why the contact teacher is 10 for 5 years and 10 years and they don't want nobody as a contact teacher. And the parish president and are recycled. And the DA president are recycled. So me and my friend and my other friend, this year me go, next year my friend go, the other year the other friend go, then we come back the 4th year. And the people are recycling. So we get to go to Kingston. I know people who pay their mortgage based on JTA traveling for the last 5 years.
Wow.
You can't easily make $20,000 by going to a trip if you're coming from Westmoreland, based on the calculations, But through me now, I go take the bus. Me I go drive because my life is tap a Ochi and me I go tap a down a Angus and place on Domino and my way down. Now I can't take the bus and do that. You get me? So the organization is paid volunteerism. Don't make it be seen as it is pure volunteerism. Probably in the days gone by, it was volunteerism. No, it is paid volunteerism. So you are paid to volunteer. So when you lose a Saturday, I've seen 70 Adventist people now come into council on a Saturday because it pays them some money.
Yeah.
Lenny, listen, you see your thing. So the president, so nobody is going there because they just want to represent the teacher. And yes, there are persons who have the will to fight but the perks are high, brother. All right, let me put a spokes in that wheel. See, take away the mansion and take away the car and take away the money and see how many person volunteer for the president.
Nobody no man now go around this out.
Just all right, you're gonna volunteer for the president, but you'll get your same salary you get now.
No.
I see how many persons who are volunteering are going to willing to take on that challenge.
Yeah.
I bet you won't find 10.
Yeah.
Because unless they want to self-actualize to say, boy, I was the president of the JTA, the cost is too high for them to bear. So when you go up on secondment, you move as the president of the JTA, you move, all right, a regular classroom teacher was at band 7 or band 8. When you go as the president, you're going to band 10. You're going to point 10 on the scale. So you might move from 2.5 million per year to 7 million per year as the president of the JTA. And you don't have to spend none of your money. Because as a travel, you travel free of cost and you get per diem, which is about 200 US per day when you travel internationally. So if you go on a trip, all expense paid trip, hotel paid, transportation, ground transportation, and you stay there 10 days. You make 2,000 US come home your yard. And that is paid for by the teachers of Jamaica. Nobody wants to say it. Nobody wants to tell about it. But that's the reality. So teachers...
Well, you open my eye. We never know so much in it. You never know so much in it. I know they live away, but I didn't know it was so much. I didn't know the mansion was involved. I thought it was a vehicle and you get 1 year this and
no, man, there's a mansion, man. There's a mansion in Upper St. Andrew, man, with teachers, where the president live, man. If the president don't want to move for that year, the man, he stay for the whole year, man.
You never know that.
Yes. And it was bought by the JTA. JTA also confiscated that property,
Oh.
Yeah, man. Then the brethren, they were the thief of the money, man. I want the property in by JTA and have property money and take back some of my property, them, man. Marlon, how will the thing happen,
Oh, yeah, because the credit union they lend to and all of that. Yeah.
The credit union, there's Tip Friendly Society, that is a JTA run organization. There's Jamaica Publishing House. There's so much, Virgin. And let me tell you something. My biggest disappointment is that not much is given back to the teachers. Except for teachers, you get a flash drive or you get an umbrella. There's not
A
much
cup
given back to the teacher, brother.
or a cup.
Or a cup, and the cup them sometimes not good cause the angle break off before the end of the month. The umbrella damage before the end of the month.
Oh, Lord.
You get me? Other they didn't give band. They said they were going to give us band with NCB. 90%. I would let us not be in. No, me not get over myself. I would say 50% of those band have not yet been claimed by a teacher because it is so difficult. The process in which you claims it. Idea is good enough. Yeah, because you get something to hold on to for say yes, you can develop your network. But it is so difficult. I would prefer that money be put aside. Hey, actually you don't understand what I'm going, man. Because you what no. I have challenge with the JTA because I believe a number of things that I believe in that them now go one come. One, I believe a president should serve for 2 years. This is the only institution, organization in Jamaica that the president serve for 1 year.
Yeah. What you can do in a one. By the time you must come up with something more.
All right, listen up. The invocation is August 24th or the 25th. Boom. The next council meeting is at the end 25th of September. You meet with the minister in October for the first time. See? So that are 2 months gone already, you know. You work November, December, Christmas, January, February, March, Easter, May, June, July, August, summer. What do? You might have 3 meetings or 4 meetings during the time with the Minister of Finance or the Minister of Education. What do? In my time, I said I'm going to bring a 12-point plan, which is what I term as Drummond, the dazzling dozen. So every month, we want to meet with the minister every month, and we are dealing with one thing every month. As we get through that, we move on to the next thing. You get me, I say? So these are some things that we could deliver. I'm not saying we're going to get all 12, but at least if we get 6 of them, we'd have gotten a lot.
Yeah.
You get me? The government doesn't want to sit and discuss certain things with the teacher, you know, because they know that the teachers are trying. They know the teachers are correct. But unless we have strong leaders who are going to beat this into the system and not just talk, you know. One of the things that I'm seeing now resonating is that, you know, it's about favoritism and sensationalism. That's the word, sensationalism. So you sensationalize the thing and make it look good, and then everybody say, yeah, man, Joe, man, this man, yeah, man. No, man. If I just say yes and if you say look good, me don't want it, Bridget. Make it look bad. You get me? As me always tell people, I will leave my funeral, go to a next man funeral, you know. Yeah, man, if them funeral better for me, man, me leave my funeral, go to a next man funeral, man. So, there are some little anecdotal change that we need to make in the JTA. The tenure of the president has to be one of those that we seriously challenge. You see me? The JTC bill has to be readjusted. And you talk about a few things, but the decriminalization of the teacher, the teaching profession. So when a teacher, just like when a driver's license expire, you're not a teacher anymore. That has to be shown through the gate, brethren. Find a different way of doing it. Because guess what? No. It's just like we decriminalize people themselves, you know, because the JTC, which is an arm of the Jamaica Ministry of Education, at them are decriminalized, you know, virgin. Because at them are 35. So them supposed to know, say, we have 28,000 teachers. So at the end of each year, we are going to recertify. And it's not been done. There's still about 2% of teachers who are still on their way out with a teaching certificate. What have we done to these teachers? We have not done anything to increase their earning power, you know, because pension of a certificate teacher now is less than 12,000. That cannot pay the light bill. And that was one of the reasons that drove me to challenge to, you know, Lenny. I went to JTA to a meeting on a Saturday. Petersfield was playing Mannings. I was coaching Mannings, brethren. And I was leaving the meeting at 12:30 if you come back to catch a match, 3:30 in the south. My brethren Tilly, Sheldon Phillips, was driving me. In the buy one fast Honda, so we say we are driving Honda that day. And we are testing speed by the highway. Brethren, when I come out, an elderly gentleman stopped me to ask me if Mr. Farkison was there. Byron Farkison was the Secretary General at the time. Mm-hmm. And I said to him, boy, I not see him, but we have a meeting and he was upstairs. And the man started to break down to me to say that after working for 32 years, he reached pension, reached retirement, you know, and him supposed to get some money. And him can't get him money 4 years after retirement. And the man say, him have a house when he want to deal with because in the start a house and he never finish and he have wait for the money. If he say the lump sum of money will come, because you know when you retire you get one little lump sum, like 5 million or 4 million. And you can live in your house and live. The man basically up in arms to say, boy, 4 years after retirement, him not get him lump sum. Every time him submit some document, them saying short of one document, or him forget one next document. And I'm saying, if this is how we are going to treat an educator who committed 32 years of service to education, Virgin, I want to join the police force. I want to join the military. You get me? Because certainly this is not how you treat your own. Think about a teacher who would require the health card. Upon retirement, your health card is suspended. Remember, say when you're young, you need health, you know. When you're old, you need health care, you know. At my stage, I need health care. When we reach pension, I start go down the hill, I go start need me doctor medication and the little thing, the insulin and them thing. That is the time when they suspend the teachers them health card. And so when a teacher gets the pension and then go to the doctor and the doctor write a prescription, a good prescription, the whole of the pension gone in a prescription money. And I'm saying for all retired teachers, them must have their health care till death. It not take rocket scientists, Virginia. It not take 5 million to do that a year, you know. How much teacher we are lose through retirement per year? Mm-hmm. So that's some little thing we look at. And maybe it is practical, but maybe they not see it as necessary. So I don't know.
Bro, I want to tell you thanks and respect. For one thing you do, you open the eyes of teachers. And trust me, you know, the journey and coming through. Yeah, man. I met the man at GC first and yeah, you know, say me like me want to talk to you like say boy, you know, but more me have to tell the people inside GC.
Man.
Yeah, in terms of so I tell me I interview people we know more want it be like we just a talk. But we met him first at GC, you know, when I came there with the president and we see work and everything and things. I want to tell you thanks for being on the channel, you know.
I want to tell you thanks because I follow the program. I just not spend enough time to watch through the program, but every episode I watch snippets, man. And even the thing with the national under 20 team. You know, the under 20 coach was in Montego Bay and then developed and discover the best talent. I youth named Leo Campbell. This is a youth who 3 years ago I see him. Played for
the Irwin youth.
Play for Irwin, yeah, man.
Same body, same clever.
And this is a youth who can play at the national senior team, and I've been saying it. Nobody don't believe me. The coach and I are a good friend. Sanjay say, yeah, man, a good youth. But if you tell them that, they might say no. Because they might tell you about 2 youth from Phoenix Academy or 2 youth from Kingston Academy. But I'm saying the raw talent for this youth possess and him skill, him eye and him decision making is so good. That
I watch you interview with him and he said that very clever. He not even didn't know him. He just said the number something and yeah.
But I'll tell you something, Lenny. We have more than 10 of them there in our island. I just wish we could look for them and dig them out.
True, man.
And make them understand. When Rene Simoes came here, one of the things that he did was he went around and he discovered talent.
Right.
Weren't he doing that, we wouldn't have qualified for the World Cup in France.
He play against the
D1. Don't a cling oval, brother.
Yeah, he play against the D1 team. He play against the team.
Major League, D1, D2. Him play against parish team, select team, just confed team, just to develop and get the best possible talent. Because that is what is going to take us in. You see, we up in arms, I say, we are qualified the World Cup. I'm going to watch the World Cup, But I want to ensure that we do all that we can, because not because we have 3 spaces and the USA, Mexico and Canada are not in those 3 spaces. Guarantees us a chance of getting there. The other countries are developing their programs.
Panama, Costa Rica.
We cannot depend on the English-based professionals to say all of them will come and carry us through. You know, let us and I like that coach over all I coaching, because I first man me see since Simoes that goes around and play some game and look past some little youth. First.
Yeah, that's a truth. Still.
I never like him for anything else. Me like him for that.
Yeah, and start go around and
Yeah, man. But let me just commend you again. As I say, you know me, you have maximum respect.
Yeah,
not because you're a Chelsea man and Chelsea not good. But we have
a serious thing that
yeah, a serious thing, but a maximum respect.
No, man, you do that, man.
No, but
oh, you're back. Hold on, I'll pull you back.
Yeah, man, you know what's me at Liverpool, man. You know what's from 19.
No, Sunday we are beat,
From 19, no, man, listen to me. We have a final. You get me? You know,
not too ready yet, and Van Dijk not the him best. This is Van Dijk go lick up with that Alice.
We have 12 players out. But let us not look at those who are out. Let us look at those who are in. You understand me? And the chips will fall where they may come Sunday morning. But we're going to take it, man. It's good. So as I was saying, yeah, man, as I say, a maximum respect, man. And, you know, the program, just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, man.
All of my friends them subscribe and me I subscribe, because guess what? No. We have to help out each other. And it's not just because of sensationalism, but the content is good. The content is good.
Yeah.
The research is done. The information is there. So I want more people to listen. Me and Tapa talk and Tapa say him listen to it. Watch it, man. Because
I'm telling you,
and sometimes you go him. But me tell Tapa the only reason why you really approach him is because he's in center now. Because I remember ideas when you have back Benfica and Volvo them, you know.
Yeah.
And Black Star them, they ain't good. But you're a center man. You're a center man. So
yeah, man. We suffer down a center there, but we have to dead them behind them, man.
Yeah, man. And you know, Sentan has 2 teams in the Premier League now, you know. You know, Sentan, the last time Sentan has 2 teams in the Premier League was Black Star and Brazil.
But we have to give time. We went through it, man. Me tell you, I'll come at Westmoreland and match, better. Come watch read.
Yeah, but it's a good thing. And seriously, I want all my colleagues who are watching and who not here and who here to, you know, don't be afraid to go out there on a limb if it is something you believe in. So if somebody nominate you and them see where your work is worthy of recognition, don't turn them down. Don't decline no offer, Virgin. You know, go out there and give it your best shot, because you never can tell. You know, the presidential JTA presidential election, you know, I never went to win, you know. I'm gonna tell all my supporters, I never went to win. I went out there with a message for people to listen. So as long as I get my message out, I don't watch the result. Because my mother always tell me that, say, my reward comes from God, and result not coming a number, you know. So, and because a man get 3,000 votes and I get a little bit less than 1,000 votes, 980 vote, means what I am saying is not resonating. It means that what I am saying is resonating with 1,000, but what he's saying is resonating with 3,000.
You better believe it that people understand and hear you and understand the message.
Yeah, man. They may have people now who would have voted for my counterpart, Mr. Simit, who said, boy, Drummond, you know, so I should have give you a chance because what you say come to pass. Because let me tell you something. I have a paper that I have in my e-portfolio, you know. That is in 2017, you know. When I warned them and Michael, you know, that listen to me. Ladies and gentlemen, let us not sell out the teachers. You know, the Sunday morning, you know, I was going to a match and they just give me the paper and say, boy, coach, see up on the back page I glean, front page I glean with a teacher hang tough. You get me? And it has nothing to do with Me per se, it's just what I was representing to say, listen to me, teacher. We not take what them are giving because at that time they were giving us the 4-year deal, the 4-year deal, and it was right in sync with what is happening. And I was saying 4 year from 2016 to that way to 2020 would have been an election year. It would have been a bargaining year, a negotiating year, and then when them done the 4-year contract, they, because if them in a power or if them lose power, what will happen? And you know, I summarized it and I gave it, I broke it down to every teacher who was there to understand what I was representing. And you know what happened? You know what happened? I'm disappointed. Then took lunch when they realized they can't break me down. They took lunch. And you know when they take lunch, what happened? Everybody gone outside and who gone downtown, gone do shopping, who come at town for shop, but then get a free ride come. By the time the evening come and the voting done, when we reach a Westmoreland the next morning, me as a teacher accept the deal. And I mean, I said, all of this is in vain. You know, sometimes, you know, we have to suck salt through wooden spoon. We have to hang tough, you know, for what we want. Because if we bend our backs, then everybody can climb on us. So sometimes we have to just stand tall, and irrespective of what is the consequence, just stand tall and be brave, be bold. Anybody want to do anything, do anything. With a little bit more tenacity, a little bit more forthrightness. You know, we could have probably gotten something more from the teachers at the negotiating table last year. But we were too soft, and we had person in admin who influenced the decision that even when the president decided that she was not going to sign, persons went behind her back and signed. You get me? Because, you know, Judas, you know, is important to the fulfillment of the prophecy. Not because we don't have a Saint Judas. Because if Judas hadn't sold out Christ for him to die on Calvary cross, then our sins would have still been unforgiven up until this day. So it is important that we understand that the traitors among us are necessary. But we have to stand tall among them, above them, and let them understand that, listen to me, it's always good over evil, man.
Always good over evil. We're going to end it on that note. I always tell people, this is part one. You know? I will never do. I'm going to call you back again at this channel. When I call you back again, you know, gonna maybe talk some schoolboy football near the season or something. We can reach out. You're one, you know, a one phone call away. So
I'm one call away, man. And it's about forthrightness. And let me tell you, I want to put an indemnity to let them understand that the views expressed on Island Hopping Sport is not necessarily those of Len what they do here.
No, I know me.
But I'm me. So if you don't want to challenge me on anything that I'm saying, I have the article
man from Westmoreland.
Article of association.
Yes.
Yeah, man. I have the article of association from the JTA.
Godfrey Drummond, Mr. Godfrey Drummond. Yes,
sir. So don't hold the channel responsible for anything that is said. Hold me, because, as I say, I have the article of association to prove whatever it is that I say, to corroborate all the evidences, to say what, to substantiate what I say, to make sure I say, I don't know fraud, I don't know folly. A reality me attack, Bridget. And the man when I think no, say, me not gonna say it if it not make sense.
Respect, thank you.
Yeah, man, guidance and stay safe and bless up your family, man.
Blessed, and thanks to all the persons who were here too. Blessed and love, Zin. All the best. We talk, man.
Yeah, man. All right, respect.
All right.